Hey guys, today I'm going to show you you can make R&B beats, more specifically how to do the drums. In another video we can look at the melodies, but just how to get the groove and the bounce and the rhythm, just to get that right. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I'll start with this loop here. This is originally in 150 BPM or 75 double time. So I sped it down to 122 BPM. Well, all you do is just time stretch it, just like this, yeah. And then I pitched it down 2 semitones. Yeah, and I found this on Splice. Splice, there's a lot of garbage on Splice, but if you find the right ones, the right samples, it can be a lot better, and it's royalty free, so it's quite good. Yeah, for effects, I just put on some EQ to cut out the lows. Then I found this vocal sample. As you can see, I pitched it up 12 and I pitched it down 2 semitones. So originally it sounds like this. Yeah, so for effects on here, I also just put a EQ with a low cut. So now for the drums, this is the drum loop. Alrighty, so yeah, let's just start with the kick. So this kick, I found it on Splice. Actually, a lot of the samples in here are found from, I think almost all of the samples here are found from Splice. But this is the kick. Yeah, so without effects, it sounds like this. Yeah, so it is quite okay. But yeah, it's not that loud. So what I did here to compensate for that is I boosted it with an EQ. It's just turning up the volume, but I just like to do it like this. It's just where you find your EQ and then just boost it, just like this. It's very simple. Yeah, and then I put on a soft clipper because without the soft clipper it's too loud, and with a soft clipper it just gives that crunch. Yeah, so the kick pattern here is quite minimalistic. You don't want your kick pattern or your kicks to be too dominant in the beat. You just want to keep it simple and just, and then to refreshen up, you also have at the end of the pattern, you just have this last kick here. It's quite simple, but it does very well in terms of, listening to the beat as a whole. So for the rim slash clap, I use 2 different sounds, and it sounds like this. As you can see, I offset the second clap, just as in drill actually. So instead of the normal 2, I put it on the 3 in the second part. So it goes on 1, 2 in the first part, and it goes on 1, 2, and then the third. Then for the hi-hat pattern, I spiced it up a bit. I used actually 3 different types of hi-hats and 3 different rhythms. So altogether it sounds like this. So for the first hi-hat, I had this very simple pattern. And this just repeats and repeats. Then for the second hi-hat, I did this. It's actually very simple, as you can see. It just repeats every bar. Yeah, and then we have this hi-hat, which is in triplets. Yeah, and then for Percs, I got this. We have a few different things going on. So the first thing here is this, just a normal Perc. Very simple, nothing special. Yeah, and then there's this Perc, it's quite different. Yeah, so for this perk I kind of played around with it. The original one sounds like this. So to make sure it hit on the same time as the clap, I time stretched it, and this is just trial and error until it sounds good. I just know it's until 4. You can see at the top of the left corner. Yeah, and then for the pitch, I put it on resample actually. I don't know, it did kind of something else. Instead of keeping the original pitch or pitching it down, it just sounds a bit cleaner and then it's pitched down. Then you want to make sure you position it just before the clap. Typically you do it in EDM just to make the clap or the rim just hit harder. Then for the 808 I used an 808 from Splice. Again, it's not, I don't even know what kind of 808, it's just a bass actually. But I put this crossfade on to make sure it kept on as long as I held it down and it wouldn't stop. Because normally in 808 that's the point where the 808 stops, but with the crossfading it just keeps on going, as you can hear. So the theme here in the beat is simplicity, so obviously the 808 is going to be just like that. It just hits on the 1, again, with the same root note. It's just the G sharp, and then the E, and then it hits twice here. So together it sounds like this. Then I found this drum loop from Splice, which sounds like this. Yeah, so this is with the drum loop in the background. Then a very important thing I did in this beat is I sidechained it, which is something you don't normally do in trap beats. So what you do here is you make sure your sample is sent to a mixer track, and then you send it to a sidechain. Then you press your sidechain track and you press root to this track only. All this does is just that it doesn't get sent to the master track. Then you do the same for the 808. Click on it and you press root to this track only. Then for the kick, and this is the very important part, for the kick you don't do the same. Instead of root to this track only, press sidechain to this track. And then you create your fruity limiter and press compress, and you take sidechain for the kick. Here I put the threshold on -22 dB and then the knee on 58%. Then I also pushed the release all the way up to 250 milliseconds and then the attack for 1.21 milliseconds. The release thing is just how fast you want the sidechain to open up again after it has been ducked down the volume. So yeah, when you sidechain it sounds like this. In RnB, I think it's quite an important part because it does kind of give you that rhythm, and instead of just the kick as in trap beats being put behind. In RnB, the kick is a very important factor in the beat. And then I had this transition from Cody Pack. It's quite nice. It just glues the track together. Yeah, and then I also have this kind of unique thing which sounds like this. Yeah, so this without effects sounds like this. So what I did to make this is I pitched down to match the key. It's 8 semitones down, and then I pitched it up as well. So really all you could do is just pitch it up 4 and then, but I just did it like that. Then I sent it to a mixer track where I put a lot of delay on. I used the fruity delay 2 and put the time on 4, the cut on 66% and the volume of 50%. Altogether it just glues the track. Yeah guys, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, it's quite a simple beat, but simple beat also gives room for the artist to just go off, be melodic, have different kinds of flows. So yeah, just especially in R&B, you don't want to complicate a beat too much. So yeah, if you liked the video, please make sure to like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, maybe comment what you would like me to do next time in the next video. Yeah, so that's it guys. Thank you for watching. Peace.